Hold on, I'm gonna mask up.
Bricc Baby, the brick, not the trick. Man, don't see late. God dang, the feds say they want 92 to 115 months. We're going to dig deep into this one. So let's really get into this one right here. Y'all know we got Bricc Baby right here, and y'all see the sentencing memorandum right here in date. That's going to be at 9 o'clock, December 19th, 2025. And yeah, plaintiff, United States of America, by and through its counsel of record, first assistant United States Attorney for the Central District of California, assistant United States Attorneys Kevin J. Butler and Jenna McAbee. Anyways, yeah, the sentencing memorandum is based upon the attached memorandum appointed authorities, the files and records in this case, and such further evidence and argument as the court may permit, dated December 5th, respectfully submitted, Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, and Bilal Esley. Look how they just put his ass all the way up under there. First Assistant United States Attorney. Don't worry, we got another Lil Durk video that's about to set the damn internet on fire tonight. So make sure y'all got y'all bells on. And then y'all can see all of this shit. Memorandum of Appointed Authorities. Introduction. Defendant Zaire Mitchell, defendant, has pleaded guilty to being a felon in possession of firearms and ammunition seized from his home in 2023 and admitted to being a felon in possession of more ammunition he fired at others in a parking lot in 2022, as well as submitting a fraudulent application for disaster relief based on the January 2025 fires. For his crimes, the United States Probation and Pretrial Services Office, the USPO, calculated a total offense level of 23 and a criminal history category of 6, resulting in a sentencing guidelines range of 92 months to 115 months imprisonment. Pretense Investigation Report PSR 139, docket number 31. The USPO further found no bias for departure or variance from that range. The government agrees and respectfully recommends that defendant be sentenced to 92 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release, no fine, and a...
So if Bricc admitted to all this shit, right? Why is the sentence so harsh? It sound harsh, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but what's his charges? It was guns and some other. They gonna hear it.
$100 special assessment. Bricc, you was trying to hit the Palisades and Eden fires for that money too, and this be the bro, when y'all be hearing people complain about the expediency of money just given out, this be the reason. Cats will see stuff like that and go, I wonder how I can get one. The most common one that we know that's widely accepted is the PPP loans. So there's that. But goddamn, Bricc, huh? It gets worse. Roll it. Defendant's crimes. Over multiple months in 2023, law enforcement intercepted defendant on a wiretap of multiple Rolling 60 gang members' phones. On multiple intercepted calls, defendant was heard discussing criminal activity, including recounting murders he committed as a youth. In March and June 2023, on intercepted calls, multiple people accused defendant of pointing a gun at them and even defendant's...
Hold it, bro. So you telling me that Bricc Baby was caught on the phone with multiple Rolling 60s members, and it was a Rolling 60s indictment, but Bricc Baby wasn't a part of the indictment. Okay, got it.
Own daughter. I think they're talking about his baby mama. Law enforcement then sought a search warrant for defendant's home, where they found 3 firearms, including an assault rifle style firearm and over 125 rounds of ammunition. Law enforcement also learned that defendant shot 3 bullets in a business parking lot in July of 2022 to ward off would-be robbers. They found another firearm and even more ammunition when they arrested him on those charges in March 2025. Each possession followed multiple prior felony convictions, any of which alone prohibited him from possessing any firearm or ammunition. Not to mention the dangerousness and unlawful ways he was using the firearms, even if he was permitted to possess them. Separate in apart from defendant's unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition, in February 2025, defendant filed an application for disaster assistance, knowingly and falsely claiming that defendant was renting a home in Pasadena, California, that was destroyed by the Eden fire. By doing so, defendant attempted to receive Federal Emergency Management Agency FEMA benefits. Defendant knew, however, that he never lived in or rented a home in Pasadena and was not a victim of the Eden wildfire, which was declared a federal disaster, and was not entitled to any of the benefits or funds he sought in filing the false application. When the genuine homeowner and victim of the disaster applied for a loan, it was denied due to defendant's pending false application. Damn, that's cold. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so annoyed with people. And I always say you get what you deserve when you do shit like that, bro. Because there is no victimless crimes when you cats is out here scamming. You guys are using somebody's money. Whose money? We don't know. So now we find out, bro, you filed a bad application and there were people waiting on that money who was actually affected. Bruh, you could have just made up if you're gonna do.
I don't know how he's gonna just make up a name, but yeah, it's a slight inconvenience. I used to think about that, bro, when I had the cars and all that. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm probably inconveniencing somebody, whatever, hey, you ain't gonna get that shit right back. You know what I'm talking about? It's good.
Do this. You might as well make up a false damn address. Bare minimum, so that nobody is affected. This be that shit where it's like, bad habit upon bad habit. It is what it is. You get what you get. I don't wish him, the maximum sense and all this shit, but I'm damn sure not about to be like, damn, bruh, this is worth laughing at, because it's not. That shit, bruh, nah, I ain't feeling that one, bruh, but shit, when y'all try to scam and try to run up your money, and trust me, I know better than most how expensive LA is, but at that same damn time, bruh, nah, I can't rock with this one, but let's continue on. Guidelines calculations. The USPO and government agree that the base offense level for each count in the indictment is 20 under USSG 2K2 IA 4A because the defendant had been convicted of a crime of violence before committing each of those crimes. We just go through penal codes. To commit a crime which will result in death or great bodily injury to another person. Then it says a conviction under California Penal Code sections 422 and 664 is categorically a crime of violence. For count 2, the USPO and parties agree that a 2-level increase under USSG 2K2 1B1A applies because defendant possessed 3 firearms. For count 1, pseudo count 2A, in the PSR and USPO and parties agree that a level 4 increase under USSG 2K2 1B7B applies because defendant possessed the ammunition in connection with another felony offense, namely shooting at people from a parking lot. Finally, for defendants' fraud in connection with a major disaster and emergency benefits, i.e. pseudo counts 2B and the PSR and USPO and parties agree to all the calculations. Specifically, the base offense level is 7 under USSG 2B1 1A1, and the resulting offense level is increased to 12 under USSG 2B1 1B 12 because the offense involved disaster fraud. Plea agreement 12. The highest total offense level of the foregoing counts is 24, which receives a 2-level increase for multiple counts. The USPO and government agree that a 3-level reduction for acceptance of responsibility applies under USSG 3E 1.1 ID 59 through 60. Thus, the total offense level is 23. The USPO and government agrees that defendant is in criminal history category 6. With the foregoing calculations, defendant's guidelines range is 92 to 115 months. They're already suggesting that he does 7 years, 8 months, or 9 years and 7 months. That's insane. That is 100% insane.
It's so crazy. Did anybody get hurt? Did he get the relief money? What the hell? Like, why is this shit so harsh? Like, you really take, like, for them people, right? They know how precious time is for you to do that to a man for some other shit is out of pocket, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Good way. Because they damn near were trying to hit his ass with an enhancement, which would have been a mandatory 15. I got into an argument with a blogger. They ain't gonna bring this shit up because I spanked them in this argument. And I told them, there are so many programs that the feds give you and reduction and all of this shit. Bruh, hell no. He's not gonna get that 15. And they kept telling me, you don't know what you're talking about. Bruh, you ever went to the feds? No, I got homies who been to the feds. I don't care. You been in the feds? No. You ain't been in the feds either. You're damn right. But you know who I have that you don't? Federal lawyers. See, everybody wants to be intelligent and articulate and talk about their experiences and all of this shit. When in all candor, All you need to do is listen to the lawyers. They don't give a damn about because you got caught that make you an expert. No, it doesn't. It means your ass had to accept something and you only understood it for you. But I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Some of y'all probably like, Nash, you done sidestepped the hell out of that damn accusation that he said he got bodies. Man, that nigga's on the phone talking, bro. That wasn't real. Because remember, murder has no statute of limitations. It don't matter when you did it. And I think they ultimately caught his ass from shooting them bullets because he was doing this. He probably, I was 6 hours on that damn hubbies, and that nigga shot that robbing in that parking lot. Damn hubby, nigga, I have to bow. I was sounding like Sonny Nash, nigga, on that news network in Sacramento. I was 6 hours. I was like, boom, like Sonny Nash. Yeah, bro. I think that's how they caught him for that shooting, for that one. But let's continue on. Government's recommendation: imprisonment. The court must impose a sentence that is sufficient but not greater than necessary to achieve.
Yeah, he was on point with the Bricc impersonation. I ain't gonna on 6 so you know talking about Bricc, we miss Bricc, bro. This shit foul. I don't care, bro. And you know the thing is too, we gonna get into it.
The purpose set forth in 18 U.S.C. 3553. The court shall consider the nature and circumstances of the offense and the history and characteristics of the defendant, 18 U.S.C. 3553A1. In addition, the court should fashion a sentence that reflects the seriousness of the offense, promotes respect for the rule of law, provides just punishment for the offense, affords adequate deterrence to criminal conduct, and protects the public from future crimes of the defendant. Among other considerations, 18 U.S.C. 3553A2. The government recommends that defendant be sentenced to 92 months imprisonment, which is the low end of the guidelines range. Such a sentence is sufficient, but not greater than necessary to achieve the purpose set forth in 18 U.S.C. 3553A. Nature and circumstances of the offense. The court must consider the nature, circumstances, and seriousness of the offenses. Here, the government's proposed sentence reflects the seriousness of defendant's crimes. In this case alone, defendant possessed multiple firearms on multiple occasions and over 125 rounds of ammunition, some of which he fired. First, defendant shot at would-be robbers in a business parking lot. Less than a year later, he was found with more firearms after purportedly pointing them at his partner and child. Now, that's not saying that he admitted it, but like I said in the beginning, we read this in the indictment. His BM said that happened. Each time, defendant was prohibited from even possessing firearms and ammunition, let alone so dangerously using them. Defendant then possessed yet another firearm the night before his arrest during a live stream podcast with one of his rivals, and the gun can be seen in defendant's waistband. His possession of that firearm the following day, along with even more ammunition at home with his child during his latest arrest, only further corroborates the need for a significant sentence. The defendant's crimes do not pertain only to violence and weapon possession. In his plea agreement, defendant admitted to fraudulently applying for FEMA benefits by claiming...
So how you gonna talk your way out of this one, Adam? You gonna blame the editor again, bruh? You gonna say the editor zoom in on that shit? I know that it was the editor. Well, you told him to do that shit, bruh. You had to, bruh. This shit ain't cool, bruh. Nigga go to jail for a gun on your... he was at his place of employment. That gun was fake. How they know it was real, bruh?
Be a renter of a Pasadena home that was destroyed in the Eden fire in January 2020. Because of defendant's false application, the homeowner who really lost his home had his own loan application denied. Wow. Defendant's crimes have consequences, first for his victims and for now himself. This is why the government is seeking a 92-month sentence. 2, history and characteristics of defendant. And I always say that word, bro. Like, y'all history be killing y'all, but we always say it this way. History and characteristics. Defendant's history and characteristics also warrant a 92-month sentence. Defendant's criminal history is decades long. His first felon in possession firearm offense specifically dates back to 2009. His probation violations began no later than 2012. By 2014, he threatened a crime with intent to terrorize his victim, received a stay-away order, and blew through the court's leniency with multiple probation revocations, much like his attitude encapsulated in wiretap calls in this case and on video podcasts. As late as this year, back in 2016, he assaulted victims with a deadly weapon when he lifted his shirt to brandish his firearm, saying, "Don't fuck with me." Even his 6-year prison sentence for robbery in 2020 did not dissuade defendant from committing all the crimes in this case. All of that, which is only a fraction of defendant's criminal history, surpassing the points needed to be the highest criminal history category and include a high-speed chase ending with defendant barricading himself inside a home on television, which defendant later glamorized in music videos, warrants the government's recommended sentence. Need for deterrence and to promote respect for law enforcement.
Hey, you know, with all that said, bro, shout out City Nash, right? Shout out City Nash, yeah, bro. You know what I'm talking about? But with all that said, right? So, you know, Bricc just a product of his environment. He ain't a bad guy. You know what I'm talking about? He trying to make it through this shit. And it, you know, it sound like, remember, you know, all it, because people kept saying, remember it was a bunch of hoopla about how Bricc keep getting up under these cases. And then the whole Bricc whole little history came out about cases over here in Atlanta and this, that, and the third, and Bricc had to break it down. Then Bricc on the phone on a wiretap talking about he tired of doing what the police say. Sounds like they took all that shit into account, bro. Took all of it into account. Like, yeah, and he be on the internet popping it, and guess what? So his criminal, you know, they gonna go based off your criminal record for sure. But they probably this little back and forth on the internet and popping it, this, that, and the third. They probably just went and did their due diligence on that. Like, oh, yeah, he been getting in trouble all over the fucking world, right? They don't, because sometimes they be lazy, bro, to do the research and, you know, they just go off your Cali record. But they probably went through all that shit because of all this back, you know, this internet shit. That's why people kept telling Bricc, bro. I was one of them, like, Bricc, do not keep playing these you 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You could see he was trying to change his life. And his life was really changed, but when you in Rome, you gotta do as the Romans do. You gonna look like a goddamn Greek. You know what I'm talking about, bro? You know what I mean, bro. You gotta blend in, bro. You can't be sweet and be serious too. Yeah. I'm in the tank with piranhas, bitch. I got teeth like a piranha. It'll get serious. Free Bricc, bro. I'm glad we waited, though. Shout out City Nash. Y'all make sure I'm going to have a link to this shit in the description because y'all need to hear the full shit because everybody was running around putting these narratives. Oh, Bricc got 7 years, he got 9 years, he got this. They recommended 92 months. You know what I'm saying? Bricc lawyer still got to come in there and smash for his ration. If I got to write a character letter, I'm going to do it, bro. Simple, nigga. For him and Almighty. I was just me and the tapping with Almighty about that shit, too. Like, bro, you need a character letter, bro. That nigga be out here with his kids, nigga, his girly faces, nigga seem like he a good dad, bro. That's all that matter to me. Yeah, y'all niggas let me know what y'all think. We on to the next one.
Need it now and not later, ho. Say, oh, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that Jaeger, need it now and not later, ho. Say, oh, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that Jaeger, need it now and not later, ho. Say, oh, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that Jaeger, need it now and not later, ho. Say, oh, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that Jaeger, need it now and not later, ho. I need that cheese like a grater, ho. Don't play me like no cent, cause I never